Why are lead generators and marketing departments across the globe being told that their leads are useless and their hot prospects are just not interested? It's because the salespeople and the appointment getters are just not using the correct process. So let's get to work right now on converting prospects into appointments using this 7-step process. Welcome to Sharper Business. This is step 6 in the 7-step process. And if you haven't seen steps 1 to 5, I highly recommend you go and check them out to get maximum benefit from step 6. In a moment, you will hear a simple telephone script, which will incorporate the 10 ingredients for a successful outcome. And what I'd like you to do is to listen and take note, because soon after, I'm going to help you construct your own personal script incorporating these 10 key ingredients. So let's get to work right now on the telephone script. My name is John Smith from the Sales Training Company. My company specializes in helping companies increase sales, margin and profitability. We're currently working with a number of companies in your area who are experiencing fantastic improvements and growth. Now, the reason I'm calling you today is what I'd very much like to do, is to come along, meet with you briefly and demonstrate how these other companies are showing massive improvements. I'll need no more than 10 minutes of your time. Then what I'd like to do is to leave it with you, as you'll be the best judge as to when you might need our service. If we can agree an appointment, what I'd like to do is to send you a confirmation emailing outlining who we are and what we do. Now, how does Tuesday sound? You will now have noted from the script that it's simple, straightforward and to the point, but more importantly, contains the 10 fundamental ingredients for a successful outcome. And the 10 elements are, first of all, to sell an appointment. Not to sell your product or service, not to get involved in dialogue or conversation. Keep it simple, then focus on selling an appointment. Number 2, you'll have recalled from step 5, where we got the customer's permission to talk. Having got the prospect's permission to talk, proceed to do just that, and expect to be able to do that uninterrupted. You may well raise questions, but you should be able to do it uninterrupted. Number 3, the script is important to acknowledge that it's helpful to the salesperson and indeed to the prospect that you have rehearsed beforehand what it is you're going to say, so that you can sound confident, clear, succinct and to the point and achieve what it is exactly it is you want to achieve. I mentioned having 3 major benefits. It's important that you decide what they are before you get on the call. 1 or 2 may well achieve what it is you want to achieve, but certainly no more than 3, and keep it simple. In the script you'll have noticed I use benefits such as sales, margin and profitability. You should be able to do the same for your product or service. Just identify 3 elements, 3 benefits that you can succinctly get across very simply. Number 5, common ground. In common ground, I'm talking about some prospects find it helpful if they believe there are other people like them who are benefiting from this product or service. And to do that, you can talk about people in their area. You can talk about people in their industry, people in their space, people in their profession, people in their geographic territory, whatever it is that you might think would be relevant that would make him feel comfortable in talking about your product or service. Number 6, I use the word demonstrate, and this is particularly relevant to companies who don't have a hard product to demonstrate, and when in fact it may well be a service. And the point of using the word demonstrate is I hear salespeople time and again saying, I'd like to come along and tell you something. It does invite the prospect to ask, why don't you tell me now? Or the salesperson might say, so I can come along and explain it to you. And the prospect may well say, why don't you explain it to me now over the phone? So the word demonstrate gets you out of that by implying that you need to be physically present, so you've got something to demonstrate. I say it's important that you come across as not pushy. And by that I mean salespeople have a reputation for being pushy, which causes prospects to get defensive. And we want to avoid that if we can. So not pushy means you should come across as low-key, soft and gentle and unsalesy, maybe even unpolished. Number 8, I talk about leave it with you. And when I say leave it with you, again, this is to make it come across as if you're low-key and not a pushy salesperson. It makes the prospect feel good that you're not going to go for a hard sell and put them under pressure there and then. 10 minutes again implies much the same thing, because for 10 minutes for a serious product or service with a serious capital outlay, it's unlikely you're going to demand a result in 10 minutes, i.e. a check or indeed a payment. So at 10 minutes, now it's easy for people to suggest that maybe you couldn't possibly demonstrate your product in 10 minutes. I understand that and I accept that. And salespeople will tell me it'll take at least 60 minutes. But what I say to you is, if the object of this exercise is to get an appointment, by suggesting 60 minutes to somebody you never met before, and while your company and your product may not be on trial, you are as a salesperson. And this person is thinking right now, should I give 60 minutes of my life, my time to this stranger? So what I say is you're going to raise objections that might be difficult to overcome. Keep it simple and just ask for 10 minutes. Again, of course, I can hear a prospect saying, you couldn't possibly demonstrate your product or service in 10 minutes. To which my reply would be something along the lines of, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but the reason I said 10 minutes is that's all it's going to take me to demonstrate to you the suitability of my product or service. But I'm going to allow 60 minutes so that if you have the time, that I will be able to go and explain to you in greater detail the service, the backup, the guarantees, the price structure, and everything else that goes with the product. And finally, I think it's important that you try and get into the call as quickly as you can, that you will send a confirmation email. Again, because I'm on trial, and the prospect is quite rightfully thinking, I don't know anything about his company. So a confirmation email, you will say that will include details of who we are and what we do. And those are the 10 key elements to the call that should be included for a successful outcome. So the purpose of the call is to sell an appointment and not to sell your product or service. Using the script, you'll make more appointments than you've ever done before. You will, however, find prospects who ask questions or raise objections, and how to handle this is clearly demonstrated in the next video, step 7. Your power is in controlling the call without dominating it. To learn more about this, click this link. And until then, please give us a like and let us have your thoughts and comments below. To join our community, just hit the subscribe button to be notified of future videos on this Sharper Business channel. And thank you for viewing.